And welcome back to the channel. Here today we have another 5-year rebuild. We will be rebuilding the Chicago Bears, as you guys can see from the title. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of today's action, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, today we shall be rebuilding this Chicago Bears team, led of course by Justin Fields. Jesus, you know what? Yeah, the quarterback and the whole other conference. That's who we're rebuilding today. No, today we're going to be rebuilding with Justin Fields and trying to get his career back on track here. You know, Chicago in this past offseason traded for DJ Moore, a true legitimate number 2 receiver, but we got to find who's the guy next to DJ to be the guy. We got to find our quality back here. Is it going to be Caleb Herbert, who is, 25 years old? You know, he has some room to grow and stuff, but I'm excited to see what Herbert can do. We have offensive linemen that are injured, but we have a quality line here when healthy. Defensively, there's a lot of work to do, especially in this front four here. We don't have any development players, but we don't really have that young guy. I think we have a quality secondary and quality linebackers here. This should be a fun rebuild. Let's get to the mid-season report, or mid-season. Yeah, let's get to the mid-season. Well, we're here mid-season. We're 1-6, kind of to be expected here with this team. We're not the best roster, We have young talent, but it's mostly about developing them. But we're 1-6, last place here. We're most likely going to be picking up high in the class. I think in this rebuild, we're going to try and work with Justin Fields, though I'm not going to be completely committed to him. Though we have $90 million. Jalen Johnson here, he's just such an important player on this secondary. We just need to keep him. For a player like a Darnell Mooney, the game will load. This is an interesting one here. He has no interest in being here. He will be 26 years old. And, I do think that there is a part of me that wants to see what he can be traded for. I mean, in 7 games, 15 catches, 200 yards. Yeah, I think we trade away Darnell Mooney, try to get a draft pick for him. For Deontay Foreman here, we're going to probably move off of him. Yannick Ngakoue, it matters what his sack total is, and I'll give him a 2-year deal. But for everyone else, we're probably going to just be letting them all go. I mean, if there's any standouts, then of course we'll try to keep them. But let's trade away Darnell Mooney. Let's get a pick for him, and then we'll move on. I think I'm going to do this trade here. We're going to swap Darnell Mooney for Milton Williams, a defensive tackle who's 77 overall. But Williams is a quality run defender, and he will come in here and be our best defensive lineman right now. So I think that this is a good long-term move for our team. Mooney was not performing the best, and now we get a good young defensive tackle here. Who has a couple years on his deal, who can rush the passer. He's strong enough. He can do whatever we need him to do. And I think this move makes a whole lot of sense. But we went 3-5. Or 3-14, excuse me, Jesus. Yeah, we didn't have a good year. Justin Fields, not a QB of the future. No, not at all. 15 touchdowns, 10 picks, 2,500 yards. Not good enough. Justin Fields did lead us in rushing, though, with 7-3. Khalil Herbert had 7-3 of himself, so good year, I guess, running for. I mean, I guess if you... Yeah, no, it's not a good year for Justin Fields. DJ Moore had 800 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cole Kmet had 4 and 5. And now we kind of have to figure out this receiving group because we only have really DJ Moore and Cole Kmet here. Our 2 linebackers, they shine, getting a ton of tackles. And Milton Williams here, 24 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. Yannick Ngakoue, 18 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. Got to figure out the edge rushing spot. And then our Jalen Johnson got 4 picks. So good season for them, but a lot of work to do now with this team. And we do have money, but, we got to make some moves here. And this year's Super Bowl champions are the San Francisco 49ers, beating Kansas City Chiefs, getting a little bit of revenge a few years later. beating them 35-28. And as now we're entering into our first off season here, you know, we have money. That will be the big thing. And I do think that we'll be able to make some cuts here, probably to save even more money on this roster. We're not paying a whole lot of players on this team. But I definitely think that we got to make some moves here. You know, we will pick up the 5th-year option here, though, for Justin Fields. I know it's a lot of money. Worst case scenario is we move off of him. For Yannick Ngakoue, just because he was impactful in the running game, I will offer him a 2-year deal, keep him on the team. And then for everyone else here, Justin Jones here, he would be quality depth. So I'm going to offer him this 1-year deal. So we'll keep a couple of our veteran defensive linemen, mostly for depth purposes. But I think everyone else here, we can afford to let go. And as we're entering here in free agency now, you know, this is the team. I do think we have our starting 5-0 line, and I don't think we have to really worry about that. We have Cole Kmet. We got to figure out the 2 and 3 at receiver. Running back is kind of in need. Defensive line, you know, is still in need. Corner could argue. Safety could be argued, but I really think it's the front 4 and getting some receivers on this roster. We have $85 million, I believe, to work with here, or 73. So we have capital here. There is some good players out here, not a ton. You know, we have OBJ. Let's check out the receiver. We have OBJ, Dante Peoples-Jones. You know, we haven't signed him, and I'm going to give him this 5-year deal. Not a ton of money, but still a good amount, and he will be our number 2 receiver, hopefully. And then for the defensive line, it's just finding someone that can kind of really just help this team out. Carl Lawson here, ooh, coming off the edge. Mike, he's more of a defensive tackle, it seems. What's his profile? I mean, he could come off the edge, right? Yeah, I think so. We'll try to go get him. Try to get him here for a couple of seasons. Maybe we could develop him. He's a bit younger. Maybe a little bit more, little difficult to get him, but hopefully he can come in here and help out Khalil Mack. We're not going to have a reunited with him. And then I think for every other positional group, you know, we don't need safety. We don't need corner. You know, Jabril Peppers would be fun. But maybe we just go after a kicker, you know, just make sure that we have a quality kicker, because sometimes I feel like that's like one thing that does fuck me. Quarterback, we're not going to worry about. I mean, the real question is, do we want Tyron Smith here? You know, we have money. I think we just roll over this $53 million and we get to this draft class. I think we'll have the first overall pick and just try to get the best player available. Here we are in our first draft class here. We did get the players that I think we got all the players that we made offers to, but we have the number 2 overall pick. And, you know, when looking at this, you know, Dwight Farrell here is probably the receiver that I was looking at here. He's fast, he's strong, he can do a little bit of everything. I think he's my guy here at number 2. If he, though, goes, you know, we could look to draft, you know, a Kevin Reddick here. He's strong. Don't know any of his moves, but I assume that those power moves are good. Not thinking about a quarterback, or do we go with Derek Smart here? He's actually not fast for a speed rusher, but he has A finesse moves. Gotta assume that's probably like at best a C power move. So I think Farrell is the selection if he falls to us. I don't remember who's the... Okay, so the Cardinals, they could easily draft him here. Let's see who they go. Maybe they get the pass rusher that they want. They go in a completely different direction here. We also have the 21st overall pick. But here, I think Dwight Farrell makes a whole lot of sense. We could look to trade out of this selection, but I'm not going to. He's 6'4", hidden dev, 93 speed, 93 acceleration. Hopefully he's a high... Hopefully he has a good development trait, because we kind of need him to. And with our other first round selection, we also pick at the beginning of the second round. This is very good for us. You know, I definitely think helping out, we could continue to help out Justin Fields by drafting a running back here. I did look at Stephen Lewis here, and he might be a guy that I draft more in the second round. I think he has quality ratings across the board. We got a receiver. We don't really need, we kind of need help across this defensive line. Is there anyone here that's like intriguing? Well, here's someone, Michael McLean here. B finesse moves, C finesse moves, B power moves, A tackle. Don't know his block shed, but he's fast. He's the strongest in this class. Tyler will be the selection. 93 strength, 73 speed, 84 acceleration. Hopefully with him now, as well as on this roster, will solidify this defensive line. If that Lewis kid falls here in the second round, I am going to draft him, as the Cardinals drafted a quarterback. And this will be my last selection here. If Lewis fell, and he did, so we're going to go with Stephen Lewis here. Hidden Deb, 94 speed, 95 acceleration. I'm hoping that Lewis can just kind of be that quality back behind or starting over Khalil Herbert. That will be the first draft class here. You know, at any time that I have like the first or second overall pick, I gotta hit on these picks. I think we did here. 79 overall here with Dwight here. 93 speed, he can run, he can catch, he can do everything that you want from a number 2 receiver starting off. And he has the same he's the same overall as whatever the heck his name is, Darnell Mooney. Tyler Macklin here, 76 overall. He's a run stopper, but he can rush the passer as well, do a little bit of everything. And then Stephen Lewis here, 74 overall, 23 years old. He can run. That ball vision just needs to get a little higher here, but he's a good player. And then the CPU drafted us Rashad Dixon here, who's more of a defensive tackle in our scheme. So we're gonna just move him to the defensive tackle. He just looks like one. So got 2 big D tackles in this class. That should really help us out. Is there anything that we really missed? Okay, I didn't think Kevin Reddick was going to be an 80 overall. I just didn't know his power moves, and he would have really solidified our pass rush. So I guess that's where we fucked up at. Could have drafted a corner as well, but not too worried about it. Let's get into year 2. Well, this will be the roster for year 2. We have a quality offensive line that just needs some, you know, just some development here. You know, we were able to bring in Dante Peoples-Jones and Dwight Farrell here. Hopefully that helps out Justin Fields as much as we can. He has a good amount of receivers to make some plays here. And defensively, we're kind of coming together here with a mix of veterans and youth. You know, a lot of these young players, we kind of need this. This is kind of like a year of development for us, though. So I don't expect us to be that good. But hopefully, maybe, potentially, possibly, who knows? We could get to the postseason. And we're 2-5. Okay, well, we did get a win last week versus the Cardinals. So that's good at least. We'll do some auto upgrades here and get into some negotiations here. You know, we're not having the type of season that we want to have. We have $67 million. We have Tevin Jenkins here. Moulton Williams we need to bring back. Khalil Herbert is interesting. We did kind of draft also his replacement here. Ooh, there's a lot of kind of key starters here. So with let's start here with Jenkins. You know, I want him on a 5-year deal. Just keep him on this team and he stays. And then for Moulton Williams, we made this big trade for him. We might as well, we need to keep him. He's a good run stopper. Looking for a little bit more money. Herbert right now, I don't think I'm going to re-sign. Eddie Jackson, I think his contract demand will come down. And for everyone else, I think the only other player that I will attempt to work on a contract with is Cody Whitehair. But he still doesn't want to re-sign. So got some moves to be made here. Some of them we'll make during free agency. Moulton is a player that I am, or Williams is a player that I'm willing to franchise tag. So, just because we made such a large investment for him. And we didn't get much better. We went 4-13. Yeah. Justin Fields, is not looking like the quarterback of the future. 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, a better year. A little less running on the ground for him. Stephen Lewis, I think we're going to give him the starting reins. Dwight Farrell with 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. DJ Moore with 8 and 4. And DPJ had 7 and 2. And Cole Kmet added 4 and 3. So we were able to pass the football a little bit better, with 3 players going over 100 tackles. And then Yannick Ngakoue was a tackle for loss machine. Tyler Macklin with 15 TFLs and Moulton with also 15. Tyler led us in sacks here, so our young defensive tackle here is kind of standing out. Let's see if we have any yearly awards. Not really. We might have defensive rookie of the year. There's 3 Dallas defenders that are in the top 3. Dwight here, offensive rookie of the year, and we have the defensive rookie of the year. So, you know, the young guys that we drafted in the first round are playing very well, and Fairbairn got kicker of the year. But our 2 rookies standed out this season. And, you know, we kind of had the year that we kind of needed for this roster. You know, we go out there and be able to put up some good victories, get some good development, and hopefully we can, you know, continue to win, as it looks like these guys got a lot of upgrades, and hopefully this helps us out. As the Buffalo Bills this time around beat the San Francisco 49ers 31-14. San Francisco cannot go back-to-back in this franchise. You know, now when we look at the current state of the roster, like I said, we need room to develop here. Dwight here, was he always just a superstar? Yeah, he was. He didn't grow into it, which is surprising. But he's a superstar receiver. You know, we gotta be able to get him the football as much as possible between him and DJ Moore. But quarterback is becoming more of a need. Stephen Lewis here came out as a star dev receiver, or running back, excuse me. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But I think he's a quality player. Is that an X Factor? Why the heck do we have an X Factor tight end? It's a blocking tight end. Okay. Well, good for you, I guess. I might just move him to fullback and just let him go to work. Macklin here went up to superstar development, I'm assuming, and he did. So Macklin went up to superstar. So, you know what? We have 2 young superstars that we were able to basically draft. We got to keep Tyler. Tremaine Edmonds went up to superstar development, but if we can keep Williams here on this roster, I think we're gonna still be in a very good spot for this team. Yeah, I think we're gonna cut this kid, we're gonna cut the fullback, save some money, and we're gonna move that tight end to fullback. Okay, we have $72 million and contracts to be considering here. Let's start here with Cody. I would like to keep him. He's a quality center, and he does stay. For Milton here, it's kind of like, do you just stay? I appreciate the offer. I don't want him to walk. $22 million for him is the base offer that he wanted. If we can we keep Eddie Jackson possibly? Keep him here? No. Okay. Let's go into open free agency. We're going to tag Williams, though. We'll go into open free agency with $42 million. I'm going to assume free agency is not going to have a ton for us. That's kind of what we're banking on. We have $42 million to work with, some holes to fill. Safety is one of them. Linebacker, I guess, is one of them as well. But overall, I think when you look at the state of the roster, you know, offensive line is still set. You know, receivers, in my opinion, are set. You could look to upgrade at running back and make Lewis kind of more of a rotational guy. QB is still a need. The defensive line is in a good spot. Secondary is in a good spot, besides free safety. But we only have $43 million to work with. Some of this I might want to roll over, at least like maybe half of it. And this isn't like a great free agency class, you know, but Trey Smith is out here. Smith might not be a bad player to go get. You know, we do need a safety because Eddie Jackson's no longer here. Could we bring in a guy like a Tyrann Matthews, possibly? If we could get like either that or go after Justin Reed. Tyler Rapp is out here. Though I do think we go after Trey Smith. He is one of those, you know, young players. He's 26 years old. He's a good player. He'll kind of continue to solidify this offensive line. If we can get Trey Smith, and maybe we go after the Honey Badger here. Make it like a 2-year deal. Worth $22 million. Come in here, be our new free safety. Make the 2 highest bids. Hopefully if we can get at least Trey Smith, I would be happy. We got Tyrann Matthew though. Smith is waiting maybe for more offers, and he decided to inevitably come here. So, you know what? We put a band-aid on in this secondary, and we got a big-time guard. So let's get to this draft class. We're gonna have another high selection here, and we're gonna look at the quarterbacks, because if there's a good quarterback in this class, we gotta draft him. Well, back-to-back years, we have the 2nd overall selection. I'll let the Pittsburgh Steelers do whatever the Pittsburgh Steelers wanted to do, and they draft a tackle. Now, this is a spot where, you know, do I sit back and say, because there is a quarterback that I like, and that was Nick Gregory here, who's a 2-3 talent. Ooh, do we really want to draft a quarterback that has a 2-3 talent? What's his... So he's mobile. He has elite throw power. B's across the board. He's not like the best in moving. Some of his intangibles aren't the best to start off with. Though, I think if we can trade back to maybe like 5, 6, or maybe 7 the furthest, we would be in a better spot. So we could trade back to the 5th overall pick, get a bunch of later round picks, and get a future 2nd. Don't like this one from Arizona, even though we get a 2nd round pick. Ooh, we get a 1st round pick next, or a couple years from now. And we can move back to the 6th spot. We could move back to the 18th spot and get a U-Haul at draft capital. Ooh. 15, 31st. Not going to trade with a divisional rival. Though, I think that this move just makes a little bit... Oh, I can't trade with the Vikings. Fuck. Okay. That kind of changes things. That Washington offer is so enticing. My goodness, we could get a bunch of draft picks this year. And really... But that's the thing, we don't really need draft picks. We have our team. It's just... my goodness. The Saints, maybe? Let's go with the Saints. We'll move back to the 6th. We'll get a couple years from now as 1st round selection. And we'll just kind of use this to, you know, see how the board falls. Another tackle goes. Another pass rusher, which this is all fine and dandy with me. There goes Nick Gregory. Though there was another quarterback that I did like in this spot, even though Gregory did go. And that was, I believe, Mark here. Mark was the guy that I was going to get 2nd here. He has great throw power. That A, short accuracy. Let's go with Mark here. Hidden Dev, 78 speed, 93 throw power. He can move a little bit. He's not going to burn you, but Mark will be our quarterback of the future moving forward. I will look to trade Justin Fields during once the regular season starts. That's when we're going to look to trade him away. There was a corner that I liked. And Jaden Taysom here is going to be the pick here. He has A-man, B. He can move. He's the fastest in the class, even though it has great speed. He's going to be the guy. He's normal dev, but 94 speed, 93 acceleration. I'm hoping that he can help out solidify this secondary even further. And then we have one more selection here to be made. And there was a running back that I was looking at. I kind of wanted to go with this duo at back here if he fell, and he didn't. So it's kind of just now falls to what's another positional group that is immediately in need for us. Could always look to draft a defensive lineman. I think we're gonna go with Shea Mays here. He has that A-zone coverage at outside linebacker. We need an off-ball linebacker. He has elite speed. Shay's the selection, 87 speed, hidden dev. There you go. So we were able to help out our linebacking core a little bit. It's something that we have not done just yet because of TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. Okay, draft recap time. So Mark is a 74 overall, playing up to a 75. Ratings across the board are solid. He just needs to perform here. Can Mark perform? But Jaden here, Tayson here, 79 overall. So we got one of the better players in this year's draft class. And then we finished it off with my selection with a 71. That's pretty good here. He can play in the coverage. He can tackle a little bit. And then it looks like we got another backup quality tight end here. So good for us. Of course, did we make the bad decision? So they were both a 74 overall. It really kind of just matters which, I guess, quarterback you would prefer. He has better short accuracy. He's a little bit faster in Mark. And has a little bit of a stronger arm. And we did not get we got tied for the second best rated player in the draft. So that's okay. We still got a good player in the secondary, you know, as we're gonna now enter into year number 3. You know, hopefully we can get this team kind of over the hump here. You know, I think we've developed extremely well. And, you know, when you're looking at the current state of the roster, you know, of course, we're going to move off of Justin Fields. We're going to trade him away. This is Mark's team now. Mark is inheriting 3 very good receivers, a good tight end, a quality offensive line that we just upgraded with bringing in Trey Smith, a defense here that might not have the best edge rushing talent, but we'll get there. That's going to be probably our next big thing. But we're 4 deep at corner. We have our guys on this team. I think we have this team moving into year number 3. As we're entering into year 3, this will be the team. Of course, we drafted our rookie quarterback here. We have plenty of talent on this offensive side of the ball. We should be able to move the football. We should be able to run the football, hopefully. And defensively, I do think that we should be able to get to the quarterback, especially from the interior of this defensive line. And, you know, I think we have a very good secondary. So bringing in players like Tyrann Matthews, being able to draft a big time corner, you know, I'm hoping through year number 3 we can really make a good progress here. And halfway through year number 3, we're 3-4. We're actually almost matching as many victories as we've had over the past 2 seasons. So far an improvement of this team. But here we are at week 8 now. This is really the time to trade away any sort of players that we want, and Justin Fields is probably going to be one of them. You know, either way, we need to trade Fields away. We have DJ Moore, Justin Fields here, Jaquan Brinsky, Preston Jones, Milton, who I want to keep, TJ Edwards here. We have a lot of impactful players and some guys that we could also definitely be considering moving off of here. We also have Darren Wright here. So I do think, though, DJ Moore, gotta keep him. So sorry if you guys can hear my dog, but DJ Moore, gotta keep him. He wants more money. He's definitely a player that I want to keep. For Briskidi here, I want to keep him. So we'll bump this contract up and he re-signs. Preston Jones here. Same concept. Just don't want to really worry about a left tackle. Moulton is another player. TJ Edwards is an interesting guy. Let's see if we can get Moulton on this type of contract. And he does sign. And Edwards, if he takes this 2-year deal, I would be more than happy to. Okay. So I'm looking to trade away Justin Fields. Mike will probably look to move off of. Same with Gordon. Nate Davis will probably can get something. Same thing probably for even Yannick Ngakoue if we wanted to trade him. Though I think the players that we will move off of is Kyle Gordon, Mike, and Fields. These are the 3 guys that we'll try to get as many draft picks as possible. So we're going to be trading all three of these players, Justin Fields, Kyle Gordon, and Mike Diana here, to get a first-round pick this year and a seventh-round pick this year. So we'll be able to draft again. We'll have 2 first-round picks again this year. Hopefully that can help in our rebuild in some sort of way here. Those are 3 players that weren't getting that much playing time, and it just made a whole lot of sense for us to move off of them. So that's the reason why. As we finish year number 3 with a 7-10 record, a much more competitive NFC North, and you know, we were able to string together 7 victories. That's good. And Mark Houndley here, 25 touchdowns, 6 picks, 3,000 passing yards. Good season, quality rookie year. Stephen Lewis, 3.6 yards a carry on 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. Not too shabby from our starting running back. Would like that to be 4, but that's okay. DPJ here, 1,009. DJ Moore, who we still have to give a contract to, got 7 and 3. Dwight Farrell here had 5 and 2. Gotta get him more of the football, and I just think that will come with time. TJ Edwards led us in tackles. Tremaine Edmonds right behind him. Moulton Williams here had 17 TFLs. And Tyler Macklin again leads us in sacks. He's been an excellent interior rusher. And then we had a few picks here, so happy about that. We got to figure out this offense, though. We're not putting up enough points. We're not doing a good enough job. So offensively is a big thing that we got to figure out. And this year's Super Bowl champions are the Kansas City Chiefs, beating the Minnesota Vikings 42-28. And as you guys can see, Mark did win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So that's good for us. You know, that should really help out his development trait. That could bump him up to superstar if he is star dev. But, you know, that could really help the rebuild. Now, Fields wasn't cutting it, and he did go up to a superstar, I assume. And yes, he got superstar development here. So, you know, Mark should be able to grow a little bit faster. You know, he's playing like an 80 overall, but technically a 78. You know, as we're entering into now this offseason, I think getting a true big difference maker opposite of DJ Moore is important. Bates here is a superstar possession tight end with a lot of speed. I don't remember if I don't think I drafted him, so CPU got him. Got to figure out the center position. We can do that. Defensively, it's time to get a true edge rusher on this roster, and that's probably the biggest need opposite of a big-time running back. So as we're now entering into re-signing players, I don't think there's too many more players besides DJ Moore that we have to get under contract, because I did not work on his deal behind the scenes. But, you know, we'll give DJ Moore whatever the heck he wants, or we're going to tag him, because I'm not going to let DJ Moore walk. So 5-year, $100 million. This is perfect. He re-signs. Right here, we'll give him this 5th-year option. And then for players like Nate Davis and everyone else down the board here, I think we're just going to move off of. I don't think that we need these guys on the roster. We got to get an edge rusher. We got to be able to generate some sort of pass rush from our defensive ends position. You know, I think center is another spot. You could argue upgrade at running back, center, yeah. But yeah, this end spot is huge because we have 4 defensive tackles out there right now, and that's not good enough. I do think we have our corners. I think we have our safeties. I think we have our 3 linebackers. I think we're good there. It's just the end spot. So let's go see what we can do here in open free agency. We have almost $80 million to work with. And Trent Brown at 84 overall is the highest player. DeMarcus Lawrence would be a good just band-aid. Let's see these end spots. So, you know, yeah, there's really not a lot out here that could come in here, and Drake Jackson could be that. If we could get Drake Jackson to come here and be a solid contributor, I mean, why not? So Jackson I will make an offer to. DeMarcus Lawrence is another player that I might make an offer to. Not gonna go after Willie Gay. Yeah, I just don't see. I think we're gonna go after DeMarcus Lawrence as well. Give him a 2-year deal. Maybe that'll entice him to come to this roster. And then center was another spot. We'll go after Tyler here. Give him a 2-year contract. Give him his baseline deal. Can we upgrade potentially over receiver? Nico Collins is out here. As much as I love Collins, we're not going to go after him. And then for running back, we could reunite with David Montgomery or Khalil Herbert. I think we'll go after Montgomery. Give him might as well a 2-year deal as well. As well as, I think the last move we're going to make is I'm going to look for a mentor at quarterback. And the reason for this is because then I don't forget. So we'll go after Jameis Winston to be the backup. Not a huge free agency U-Haul anyways. You know, there's not a ton of talent out here. You know, we could go after Grady Jarrett, but DeMarcus Lawrence is more that traditional edge rusher that I'm looking for. And we didn't get him. We got Drake Jackson, though, so we got him on a 4-year contract, and we brought back David Montgomery. And now Houston wants Tyler, and Washington wants Winston. Let's see if they make any moves. So Jameis Winston does come to us. We do not get Tyler, so we got to figure out center. Center becomes a very important need. So Andre James here, we'll just give him this base 2-year deal. I do think we need a punter as well. So I think the highest rated punter we'll just go get. And yeah, so that will be free agency. We're not making a ton of impactful moves. You know, we could consider making a trade, but I think I just want to get to the draft and continue on with this rebuild here. We're entering into year 4. This is a critical season. As we're entering into year 4, you know, currently, you know, with the current state of the roster, edge rusher is still very much a need. You know, we have right now our starting 5 linemen, our starting backs here, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We have our receivers. I think it's mostly, you know, can we get a defensive end on this roster? I mean, we could consider moving a player like, I mean, he could play on the edge, kind of, a little bit, though he would just be more of a run stopper. He would probably be better in just the base defense. Who are they putting actually as our edge rusher right now? Just Drake Jackson, okay. Edge rusher is still very much in need. That's going to be probably one or both of our first round picks here, so we'll move up here to the 11th overall selection here. Theo Barnett here. He did fall to us. He was one of the players that I was looking at. The left end is gone. The right end is still there, and the outside linebacker's gone. So here, Theo Bennett here, 22 years old. A, finesse moves, B, tackling, solid speed, solid strength. I think he will just be a good player here. D, block shed has me a little worried, but he's going to be the pick. 80 speed, 79 strength, normal dev hurts, 89 acceleration. The normal development definitely hurts. So we're going to probably double up here at the edge rushing position. I am not going to back down from drafting multiple different pass rushers, because I want to get to the quarterback this year massively. We need to be able to do so, not just from 1 or 2 players. We need it from multiple different angles here. He would be a good, John would be a good off-ball linebacker, but we don't need him. For Will here, don't know his primary move. And then for Isaiah McConnell here, he's probably not the best either, no. EJ Bradshaw will be the selection here. He has B finesse moves, C power moves. Hopefully he can get to the quarterback. He is the fastest in the class with 84 speed, 86 acceleration, also normal dev. Well, these 2 guys will go get the quarterback for us with Drake Jackson. And those will be my only selections that I am going to make. I'm going to let the CPU take over from there. Drafted 2 edge rushers here. You know, there was potentially opportunities to get better play from the pass rushing position. I just didn't see it with the spots that I picked. So I just decided to make the most out of those selections. And, you know, we did with the first one. You know, Theodore here, 74 overall. Can't power move his way through anything, but he can finesse his way through it. And that's all we're looking for here. For DJ Bradshaw, a little bit more of a raw talent, a little bit more well-rounded coming out, but 69 overall, nice, but still needs a lot of work. And the CPU drafted us a couple quality future starters potentially. So we do have a ton of draft picks that got us a lot of young talent. How strong was this draft class? And it's pretty strength. I mean, we couldn't get the top edge rusher in the class anyways. And so we basically probably got the best that we possibly could. I think we did, yeah. We kind of did. So kudos on us. We were able to get the best edge rusher that we could. But now let's get into year 4. Let's see if we can get to the postseason finally. Well, this will be the team entering into year 4, you know, with what's his name, Matt Howley here. You know, it's time for him to take the next step. It's time for him to take us over the hump here. He has the receivers. He has the offensive line that's quality. He has the backs. He has a quality defense as well. We're relying on a couple of younger edge rushers, but I think we can make it work. We have a good secondary. We have good linebackers. We have a good team here. It's just, can we finally get over this hump here? And that's really the question. And this is what I'm talking about here. We're 5-2, first place here in the NFC North. And we're working. We're doing our job here. We're getting victories. You know, our talent is now kind of in their primes. You know, we have a lot of players in their primes and veterans in their spots that are very good. You know, we got to just kind of keep this band together as long as we possibly can. And thankfully, you know, a lot of these players here, you know, even Tyrann Matthews is one of those guys that, you know, we don't have to really, you know, I would like to keep Tyrann, but we don't have to. You know, a lot of these guys we do not have to keep. Besides really Ja'Quarius Stevenson and Tremaine Edmonds here. And Edmonds, I think, will sign this 4-year deal straight up, and he does. And Stevenson, or no, he doesn't. He wants a little bit more money. Okay, well, you know what? Fuck me then. We'll go after Stevenson, give him a 3-year deal. He accepts that contract. And I think for everyone else, we don't have to worry about. We just have to give Tremaine Edmonds this 4-year contract, give him a little bit more money, and we're good to go. See if we can make the postseason. You gotta be kidding me. We went 6-11 here in year 4. Mind you guys, I did re-sign Tremaine Edmonds, and we got a victory right after that week. You know, mind you guys, we were here when we last spoke. Maybe we lost. No, we were here. We beat the Lions. This allowed us to get to 6 victories. And we just could not pull it together for the remaining stretch of the season. What a collapse. My God. And now it's an all or nothing type of season for this team. So Mark had another solid year for year 2. But when you have victories, you're expecting more. Stephen Lewis here, 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns. Good year for him. David Montgomery added 5 on the touchdowns on the ground. Devontae Peoples-Jones, 11-11. DJ Moore added 8-2. Dwight added 8-4. I mean, we got solid passing production. Not a ton, but solid. Edmonds led us in tackles. Tyler Malcolm again led us in sacks. Our edge just cannot get to the quarterback. And Macklin also, with Theodore here, did lead us in TFLs. And Edmonds got 4 picks. But my goodness, what is wrong with this team here? You know, we're now entering into the last year of this rebuild. We got one more shot. And yep, that's it. As the Kansas City Chiefs win in the Super Bowl, beating the Arizona Cardinals 23-7 in a very low scoring affair. Yeah, this is the last chance to re-sign players. We have $53 million. Of course, Dwight will pick up this 5th-year option for. Same thing here with Tyler Macklin. I mean, Macklin has been such an impactful player, and everyone else here we're gonna let go. You know, we're entering into the last year of this rebuild, and you know, overall, one thing that you gotta be thinking about is, you know, what more do we have to do here? You know, we have our young quarterback, we have the receivers, I feel, the tight end, the offensive line is solid enough. I mean, we could upgrade on the offensive line. We could definitely get a pass rusher. We could definitely we got to get a safety on this roster. Those are probably in immediate needs. Everything else we should be okay with. So safety, pass rusher, upgrades across the offensive line. I mean, we have $53 million or 54 or something like that. Let's make some moves here, you know, and Tyreek Hill's out here. Tyler's out here. Rodney Stanley. Dry Spears is out here. Okay. I mean, there is a very good free agency class. First of all, we just have to get on the sweepstakes of Tyler. We gotta try to make him come to this team. He would be an immediate upgrade for us. And why not? Just go after Tyreek Hill, go after the top 2 players. We still have $16 million. We can still go after someone, if necessary. Safety is a spot that I immediately read Blankenship we could go after. You know, I think we will, just because he is the highest rated safety out here. I mean, we could go after Malik Hooker. Jeff Okudah, who's developed in this series, would probably be an upgrade. I don't think that we need to go get him. For the edge rushing position, I mean, Za'Darius Smith is the only one that probably would make an impact. So we'll go after Za'Darius Smith. Hopefully he can come in here. Yeah, so we'll go after those players, you know. We're going after the top 2 big fishes in this free agency period, and then 2 quality starters on the defense. I mean, if we can somehow get one of those guys, and we don't get either. But we got Za'Darius Smith. Blankenship has yet to make a decision. Now we have competition for him. So just in case if he does get signed, I am going to make an offer here to Malik Hooker. Just to come to the team, see what he can do. You know, Ryan Kelly, he would technically be an upgrade over the current starting center. Isaiah Hodges, no. Running back is gone. Could we get a safe corner maybe? I mean, none of these guys would really come in here and immediately make an impact. Ninjutsu here probably would be a quality starter, but again, I just don't see myself being able to get one of these guys to come to this team. Shaquille Leonard here would be a quality starter. We'll just target him. Might as well. We have the capital, and we'll go after this edge rusher too. We have the money. Might as well spend it. See what free agents we can bring in. You know, we'll go after these guys. Try to get some new players on this roster. We're mainly focused on the defense, and we got a lot of new defenders here. So we got an upgrade at linebacker, got an edge rusher, got a starting safety and a starting center. So those are really all of our needs. It's just, you know, when you have such a good start and you collapse like that, can you get back to that point, basically? I don't know. You know, I think we're set at receiver. I think we have a quality offensive line. I think we have a little bit of better edge rushing talent now across the board. I mean, either way, we're going into this draft class considering another edge rusher. We're going into this draft class thinking to just go best player available, basically. Well, we're entering into the last draft class here. It's now, you know, we're going all in. We have the 5th overall pick, and the 7th overall pick. So we should be able to get 2 very key, impactful starters, hopefully on this roster. Not thinking about a quarterback or a running back. The corner that I like is off the board. I think my edge rushers are also off the board. There is a top 5 talent that I will be considering here. Now, I did not I've kind of forgot that we kind of had a bad season. I mean, Bradley here could be a quality starter, but we don't need an interior pass rusher. That's the problem. That's in reality just the problem of this situation, is that, you know, we don't need an A to C Rashad Greenwood. He's fast enough, strong enough. Rashad Greenwood's the selection here. 10 out of 10. Oh, okay. What the fuck did I just click? Normal dev, 83 speed, 80 strength. Maybe could come off the edge. Could be that kind of hybrid outside linebacker. I really like that range that he had. So hopefully he can make. And then Trent Mays, he just went. That was the top 5 talent edge rusher. Which is unfortunate that he, of course, got drafted, because I was considering drafting, again, back-to-back edge rushers. Guess not doing that again in this draft class. We'll take Bradley here. I was intrigued by him. Might as well. 88 strength, hidden dev. Hopefully he can get to the quarterback. Could play on the edge for us. Who knows? I mean, you know, just because you have hidden dev doesn't mean you're automatically a good player. But, you know what? Did we make a mistake by passing up on Mays? That's immediately my question. Okay, draft recap time. Made 2 selections here, and they're 2 quality selections here. Rashad Greenwood here. You know, good power moves, solid finesse moves starting off. Should be part of a rotation, who knows. Bradley here, he can get to the quarterback. He can kind of block shed. Hidden dev, happy about having him on the roster. The CPU decided to draft us a new quarterback, and DeMarcus Huff here. So welcome to the team. And we got another wide receiver. But did I make a mistake by not drafting Mays here? He has a 75, and he has hidden dev. So Trent Mays probably would have been the better selection. Yeah, he's night and day the better selection. But I mean, were there better players on the board? Could have drafted the running back, could have got to the highest rated back, but just didn't see a purpose to doing so, you know? The only reason you would draft in my opinion, the only reason you draft a running back so high in a draft class is if you think that they're going to come out here for the next 5-6 years and, you know, really just take over the league and get you 2,000 yards from scrimmage every single season. Other than that, I don't see really a point in doing so. But before I start rambling about some random shit, let's look at this team entering into the last year, this rebuild, year number 5. You know, we brought in Ryan Kelly. We have quality. We have a quality back. We have quality receipt. We have quality across the board. Is quality good enough? That's the question, and I don't know. You know, I'm satisfied with this team. I think we can win games. And it's just, are we really good enough? And this might be a move that I do make here, is starting Bradley over Williams here. He can stop the run, but he can't really get to the quarterback. I don't think that's Williams' game here. He has 77 power moves. He has 73 power moves. What about Bradley? I think he had 70, like, or 80 or something in the 80s. So yeah. So we're gonna start Bradley over him, at least on the passing downs, or assuming passing downs. But let's get into this last year. Last chance to make the postseason. Let's go see what happens here. So guys, if you liked today's video, please leave a like, comment down below what you thought. I know the last few rebuilds, we have not won a Super Bowl. I think I've only been successful in one of these rebuilds. So, you know, I'm still trying to figure out this system. You know, I'm recording this in the middle of October. hope you guys are enjoying these. You know, I'm having a lot of fun. If you like Madden, you know, this channel is for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Give me any sort of feedback that you guys have. Tell me any sort of team that you want me to do next. You know, right now I'm just kind of focused on the NFC and just having fun with some of the lower teams here. Having a blast. And don't forget, the beginning of November will be the start of the new big rebuild, and we'll kind of move away from these 5-year rebuilds. And we went 6-11. Yeah, so you know what? We had a slightly better offense and a slightly better defense. But was not successful in this rebuild. Mark did not do what I was hoping he could do. And this might be like a rebuild where it's not that, you know, let's go through stats here. 4,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 picks. We got to get him to score more. Stephen Lewis, good season, 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. Derek Flowers added 11 on the ground. Dante Peoples-Jones added 12 and 7. DJ Moore added 9 and 4, and then 9 and 3. Quality year for the receivers, just not going to win us games, I guess. Sedarius Smith couldn't get sacks, but he got tackles for loss. And again, Tyler Macklin led us with 12.5 sacks. I mean, Macklin here, I mean, he is an excellent pass rusher, even though he's more of a run stopper. I have no idea how that works out, but he's always been our league or season leading in sacks for us. So he's been an excellent player for us. He was one of my first selections here. But this might be our categories as a rebuild in my eyes as a team that needs more than 5. You know, when you think about this team, you know, you have 3 young offensive linemen that you have to develop very quickly. You got to figure out your receiving room, and you can't do it all in free agency. You have to figure out this defensive line, and we didn't get good roles, and you know, it's just unfortunate. So guys, please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of today's action, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.